Hi again, I'm Eugene, and this is A Stronger Narrative. I spend most of my time helping people to connect better with their target audiences so they can lead in their fields. And if you want to become a leader, or if you want to hold a certain amount of influence, or be able to shape culture around you, or have an impact on the world, you really need to know how to uh, inspire the people around you and connect really effectively with them so you can communicate well. And so if you're talking about within a business that you run, or with colleagues that you want to have influence with, uh, you need to understand who is working within that business. Or if you want to sell to an end consumer, in order to target them well, you need to understand what they want. Even within our own relationships, uh, in order to have effective communication, we need to understand something about the person who we're trying to connect with. And if we don't understand them, then there are often going to be cross lines of communication. For instance, if you bump into someone at a bus stop and you decide to strike up a conversation with them, and you are speaking with gusto and passion, and you don't understand why your message doesn't seem to be getting through to them. They seem to understand a little bit here or there, but uh, yeah, they're not really playing along that well, and yes, they might be nodding, but they're not really speaking back to you. Uh, you might find out later that they're actually a native Russian speaker and they don't speak English. So all of your efforts have been wasted, and we do this all the time with social issues, or well, we see it a lot on social media, where people are targeting very poorly their audience. We also see it with a lot of money being wasted on marketing of products, but mismarketing. And within organizations and within communities, we get a lot of conflict and a lot of uh, dissonance between different people within that community, simply because we aren't working on their wavelength. And so I think it's really worth exploring. Actually, no, it's more than worth exploring. It's actually really important to explore uh, who your target audience is. The easiest way to do this is through creating what's called an empathy map. Or effectively, what you're doing is putting yourself in the shoes of the person that you're trying to speak to. And the questions that we need to ask ourselves is, what do they see when they walk around each day? What are they seeing, and what do they hear? Who has their ear? So what are they reading? What radio stations are they listening to, or what music do they like listening to? Who's gossiping to them, and about what? Uh, what do they think, and what do they feel? So, what are the things that they are really passionate about, and they're chasing after, or what do they really fear? What's been a stress for them? And at the same time, you know, uh, what are they saying, and what are they doing? So, how do they speak? What's their lingo, or uh, what what do they like to invest their time into? All of these things are really important, and the more that we interrogate these things, the better we'll be able to understand who they are, and then we can sidle up next to them and speak in their language to their point of need at that point in time. It's also worth talking about uh, what they're struggling with at that point in time. So, what pains they're going through? What are the major stresses, or the major difficulties in their lives, and what are the goals that they have? What are the things that they are really trying to chase after? And if you understand these things, then you can start to project forward into something that's going to be really useful for them, not just something that will resonate with them, but something that will actually really be a benefit for them. So this is a really brief overview of the idea of stepping into their shoes and understanding who they are. I strongly believe that the future of business and the future of the whole world is going to be massively impacted by the degree to which we are able to empathize with other people. And as the world gets more splintered and people get more lonely and feel less understood, if you're able to understand the people who you're working with or the people you're reaching out to, it will help you to build trust. And once people learn that they can trust you, then they'll embrace what you have to offer. They'll be far more likely to be vulnerable with you, and that's really worth pursuing. If you'd like to know more about how to do empathy mapping and how to ask the right questions to learn more about your clientele or your customer base or the people that you're working with or the people that you want to connect with, just let me know. Send me an email at eugene@astrongernarrative.com and we can have a bit of a chat. Really happy to take a look at that. And there'll be more hints coming in coming weeks. Meanwhile, take care and I'll chat to you soon. Thanks.